What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Kids, I'm telling you, I'm starting to, I feel like I'm running out of dance moves here. I'm going to have to start getting creative again. Props. It's nature my problem. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with those tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case you were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching Cancer, so definitely check them out. Very cool group. I think you would really enjoy their energies. But let's get into your first card here, which is, we get along pretty well with Taurus there, Cancer, because you got the 7th card of Taurus, which is the Eyeglasses card. And with this card, this is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, the fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the opinion. And for some reason, so the first energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is that maybe we need to, maybe it's like we might be reviewing like, I don't know, there might be some, like, maybe some paperwork that we might be reviewing, or maybe there's some options that we're considering, or something along those lines, and I'm getting a feeling of maybe needing a second opinion on some things, with whatever, maybe this is, like, we're thinking about a move, or maybe we're going to, like, buy a house, or maybe get a car, or maybe this even could be, like, a relationship type of thing, but I do feel like there's a need to... Yeah, just like get like maybe like have someone like a sounding board, whether this is finding a professional or maybe even talking to like a friend, and just getting making sure that we're considering all of our options here and really kind of seeing things clearly there, Cancer. But I'm also kind of getting another energy that's coming through your, Cancer. So I'm wondering if for some, if our opinions are being appreciated, Cancer, or even being considered, because maybe for some it's like we have, I don't know, Cancer, have you ever kind of had those people where they'll ask for your advice or ask for your opinion about something and go exactly opposite of what you say, and then it's just like, well, then why do we even talk about it? But I don't mean just like a one time, but I feel like it's like a regular type of things, for example, maybe this is like a friend who like seeks that like relationship advice, but then they still go back to the same person or maybe the same type of people. It might be even like for some it's just like maybe being mindful about either seeing if people value our opinions, or maybe even could be too, Cancer, maybe for some we may be either forcing our opinions on others people, or like just kind of chipping our 2 cents without it being necessarily asked for, or might even be in the reverse here, Cancer. I'm almost even kind of getting like a 5 of Swords energy, where it's just like I don't know, it's like always someone seems to like maybe be kind of like nagging you or something, and it's just like it gets you, like maybe their opinions have even getting you to this place of where we might be kind of doubting ourselves, or like our self-esteem is low, or just like where it gets us to where things are starting to feel just a little unsteady there, Cancer. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. All right, Cancer. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting, Cancer. All right, small little reversal storm here, but that's all right. But we even got divine counterparts here, Cancer, because you have the Seven of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the King of Swords, and then the Sun in reverse here. And then we have the Queen of Swords upright. And I feel like with this energy kind of here, Cancer, I do feel like for some, it's almost, I feel like there may be this almost like clash of opinions here, like these clash of ideas that's kind of going through, maybe for some, it almost feels like that if we might be dealing with an energy of maybe someone who tries to, I don't know. It's like not necessarily force the way that we think, but kind of, or just like kind of force this ideas on us. And it's not to say that this person isn't wise, but it's just like it's something that I feel like it's not asked for, And I feel like that maybe for some with the Seven of Wands being in reverse here, this could be a card of criticisms or needing to protect your energies against like others that are coming at you, but this could be where it's like almost like it kind of influencing what we think in a way, but and it's like maybe for some this could be where I might need to get a little bit more with the sun energy here, but I'm even kind of getting this energy of maybe we have two people who might be, maybe we've gotten the opinion from a couple of people, and there's like this contradicting type of energies. One is saying do one thing, one is saying doing another thing, and yeah, I don't know, Cancer. I almost feel like that maybe with this, whatever this, like, for example, maybe with decisions going forward, I feel like with the Six of Cups being here, it's almost like a being mindful of just like how much we may share with certain people. Maybe there are some who, who come with a more sort of like balanced approach here with the Queen of Swords and really kind of consider all the options here. Whereas like another, it feels like that, and again, it's not that their opinions aren't valid, but it's just like it feels like they're not asked for. Or it feels like there's almost this like either like know-it-all energy or something along those lines here. And it's like we're trying to free ourselves from maybe even the opinions of others here, Cancer. But let me get a little bit more on the sun. I'm even kind of getting an opinion that like of needing to maybe like to think for ourselves here, Cancer. It's like maybe we're constantly kind of seek the opinions of others, and there's a need to just like be, I don't know, just kind of be confident more so in what you do. But the sun is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, and then you have the Five of Wands in reverse, and it feels like with the Knight of Pentacles here, I feel like it's like almost like maybe people like are trying to maybe, I'm almost getting this sort of like maybe stubborn energy maybe for some here, Cancer, like, and it seems to be that it's just like it feels like that maybe this with this energy is like there's some who are maybe sort of like, it's a lot coming through. It's like for some, it feels like whenever we're in some sort of like conflict or anything along those lines or met with any sort of challenges, that the Knight of Pentacles is feeling kind of rooted in his ways as far as like how he goes about things. And I don't know, Cancer. It's just like I don't know if this is maybe for you. Maybe this is like it's like when you get the opinions of others, or maybe again, maybe someone asks this opinion, like asks for your opinions. It's just like they'll ask for you, but then they still get stuck in their ways. But then they're still not happy by the end of this, by the end of the road here. But it's just like, well, and we can get into almost this. I'm almost getting this energy. It's just like you may not have said this to them, Cancer, but it's just like I told you so. But it's just like you wanted to, you thought you knew what you were doing. And I feel like maybe there's a need to kind of pull back from that energy, because that's a lot to take on, especially if it's almost like they even, it's like I almost feel like that this person, if this is someone we're dealing with, Cancer, almost kind of thrives in like the drama a little bit, or like in the like just, and I just feel like that it's just, it's, if they don't want to be happy, Cancer, and I feel like this is one where you don't have to be in this unhappiness as well, because I feel like they, for some, it's like they don't appreciate your wisdom, they don't appreciate your thought process. And it's like, this is something where you've taken the time to consider all the options, laid this stuff out for you here. But and, Cancer, just to be fair, we want to consider on the other aspect too. This is something that you may be doing, where it's like, where we ask opinions of others, but we go against, potentially better judgment here. We can't. Just something to be mindful of there. Just if the roles are reversed here, Cancer. But all right, just something to think about there, Cancer. Let's get another oracle on the mix. Oh, thank you. All right, Cancer. So you have the fifth card of Pisces here, which is the spilled milk card. And with this card, this is a card of regret. Accidents happen. Don't sweat the small stuff, mistakes. Leave it in the past. It's over. Cannot be changed. Disappointed. Cleanup time. Let it go. And minor problems. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is it cannot be changed. And I feel like just kind of going back with that opinions thing, I feel like that maybe for some, because this Knight of Pentacles is giving me sort of just like this, it's almost like this person, this is someone we're dealing with, maybe this is like a partner that we may have here. It's like you see, what's going to happen with them. And again, it may not be a partner, it could be a friend, or just maybe someone that's close to us, maybe even like a family member. And it's like, we try to give them our thoughts and things and our opinions, but they still go against this goes against it. And it's not to say that they cannot be changed in a sense, but at least right now, I feel like they're choosing to be kind of set in their ways with this Knight of Pentacles being here. And maybe this is somewhere, it's like you try to provide these options here, but they may take it as maybe you're criticizing them, Cancer, or it's like when they go against your judgment, things happen and they come back not happy to you. It's not that you're not empathetic, but it's just like, well, I tried to tell you. And then they look at you like, well, why are you being mean, Cancer? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, where's the support and things? And it's just like that's annoying, Cancer. Like that's, and there's, and I do feel that if that's the case, Cancer, that there needs to be this boundary that's put up. But it almost feels like with the Six of Cups being here, that this is like maybe someone we have some history with, or that's someone that we know. Again, maybe it could be a family member, a friend, or a lover, or even like maybe a work business. Maybe this is something like maybe like you've been at your workplace for a little while, but it seems like they're just kind of rooted in, just kind of operating in that same sort of old energy there with the Six of Cups. And right now, until they realize that with the King of Swords that this way of operating isn't working, and they get out of their own way here with the Eight of Swords in reverse, there's really nothing we could do. Sometimes we got to let them spill milk. And I feel like too, Cancer, because maybe they're the types too that expect you to kind of help maybe clean it up, if not necessarily the situation, kind of help to be there for like that emotional support or something along those lines. And it's again, it's not that I'm saying we're being cold to them, but I do feel like that there is a need for boundaries so that they can take this time. It's just like, you know what, you're doing a lot, and we need to. I've tried to tell you over and over again, and you don't seem to want to listen. And that's fine. This is a judgment free zone. But what we won't do is stay stuck in a cycle. You know what I mean, Cancer? And I feel like that, it may be kind of tough here to do that type of thing, but I feel like it's not doing them a service to keep being there to clean up the mess if things keep going this way, whether it's like actually helping them with the situation when it's gone a little bit further, or again just being there when we're crying over spilled milk. But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. All right, Cancer. So you have the Star card, the King of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups in reverse, and then you have the Two of Swords here. And I feel like with the Star card here, Cancer, the Star card can be a card of unexpected help, or being there, or just being just kind of. I feel like just kind of being there, Cancer, and I feel like that. I feel like for some that there is this need to again to just kind of pull back a little bit. I feel like this is one where you've always been the one to just like, because this how things have been going don't feel stable, Cancer. It feels that it feels like that maybe for some it's like we've always wanted to be the one that kind of rises above and things, or rises there to be there to kind of like fix the mess and things. But it seems that eventually, Cancer, I feel like it's going to really kind of affect the relationship in a negative way. That constantly have this sense of disappointment and things, and I feel like we're just like we're on the fence about this stuff. And it's not that I feel like that you can't like put up boundaries or anything, Cancer, but it's just like maybe this person maybe kind of spills this sort of like this story of just like, well, who knows how that look, Cancer, to kind of maybe pull on the heartstring or things to just kind of get you kind of coming back, or just like you believe like maybe this time it'll be different, maybe this time it'll be different, maybe this next time things will be different. And it's not to say that these people won't change, but I do feel like that sometimes in order to help that change along, we do where we have things that we can do together to grow, but there are times where we need to kind of take a step back and let them kind of figure this stuff out here. This could be, yeah, it's interesting. I'm even kind of maybe getting for some that maybe this is like, I'm even getting like maybe some for some it's like maybe even like children or something along those lines. It's just like they keep kind of expecting you to kind of clean up the mess, and where that's an even tougher one, Cancer, where it's like I feel that we want to be there. You want them to thrive and things, but it's just like with us, Cancer. We're a sign of experiential wisdom. I feel like that we really learn from our past. It's like we can, and sometimes we have to go through things. I was actually talking with someone about this. They have someone who's got a family member, and they're a Cancer, and it's there's sometimes, and I've said it was sound kind of cold when I was talking about it, but I'm just like, listen, this is like, they're like, well, I want to be there to kind of to help them to avoid getting into this type of situations here. And it's not that they were in kind of danger or anything, but it was just more so just like, well, sometimes the best way to do that is just to let them. Sometimes you got to learn the harder way. You got to, you choose these lessons. But the thing is, you do heal from them, Cancer. It's not like they're just, it's going to stay like that forever, but You know, sometimes they have to see that there are, I don't know, there's like there are consequences to our actions and things along those lines. And I can't say. I hope that made sense. Interesting energy coming through. All right, but let's get your last card here. Thank you. Oh, all right, Cancer. So you have the fifth card of Virgos here, which is the headache card. And with this card, this is a card of poor health, disease, illness, unpleasant, crisis, emergency, body signal, needing self-care, problem, root cause, annoying, disagreeable, something's off, pain, and underlying conditions. An energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the crisis. And I feel like for some, I feel like there's a need to just especially if this is someone, if someone that we may have been dealing with, that I feel like there's a need, you know, it's like it just feels like that there's a need to allow these, you know, if this is someone that who's, you know, a person again, like there's a need for them to learn how to deal with things in a crisis, you know. And if this is something that you might be doing, Cancer, I feel like that there is a need to learn same kind of thing. There's a need to kind of learn how to deal with stuff when, because I get where, because what I feel like happens is when we do stuff, it's almost I'm almost getting like that energy of like the boy who cried wolf. You know, it's just like you keep doing the same thing. It's like everything is a crisis, but then when a real serious situation happens, we've already run out of patience and run out of chances here. And it's just like, well, you know what? You didn't listen to me before, so what makes me think that you're going to listen to me now, you know? And I feel like that's what's kind of going on here. And there's a need, I feel like, before something, you know, serious does happen, it, because I feel like especially if something really bad, not something like really bad, but something more than just like a spilled milk situation happens. I feel like the last thing a person wants to hear is "I told you so," but you did tell them so. But and I feel like the message still wouldn't quite get. I don't know, Cancer. I do feel like that there is this sense of boundaries that are being needing to be put down, or there is this need to, you know, Cancer. And if this is something that you may be noticing that you may be doing, or something along those lines, you know, where there's just like, you know, kind of expecting others to kind of, it's like I'm almost getting like it's like an expecting others to kind of clean up our mess, and then it's just like when they put in our opinions, we don't really want to hear them, you know, and it's like we keep doing the same thing, you know, Cancer. It's just I don't know. I'm getting this wheel of fortune energy of just like it's like there's a need to kind of break this cycle here, and I feel like it's like something. I feel like it's gonna take something serious to happen, whether this is you or a person that we're dealing with, in order for them to really kind of really see that all these opinions and all these things, it's that they do, you know, that there are for the greater good. But I feel like even for some, it's just like, because I'm almost even feeling that like others, like if this is someone we're dealing with, it's just like we feel that they're always like that they're opinionated. Was like, why when you go in saying like, well, why would you do that? You know that this is blah 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 blah, and then like even it's a lot coming through here, Cancer. Let me get some tarot on this. Cancer. All right, last little bit here. All right, Cancer. So you have the Four of Cups, the Hermit, and the Fool in reverse, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Swords upright. And let's switch back over here, Cancer, because that's interesting. You know, just even think with the King Queen of Swords. Now you got their oldest boy. You got the Knight of Swords here. And not to say this is necessarily like a child or anything like that, but it's just like maybe for someone it's just like I am getting this energy with the Fool. It's this naive type of energy here. It's just like that. You go to, again, it's like you go to give them your advice or give them your opinion on a situation, but it's just like kind of falling on deaf ears here. And there's not this reflection that's happening with the Hermit being in reverse here. It's just like we're just sort of breezing on by and just sort of like just, and again, just like kind of like expecting others to kind of either clean up these messes or these crises and things, or be there to kind of take care of us when we're feeling down or we've gotten beat up or whatever that's looking like. But I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles here, that you know, whether this is you or whether it's them, there's a need for them to let's say if it's them, Cancer, there's a need for them to work on themselves. And in order to get to this place of stability and things, you know, because the Nine of Pentacles is working towards your Empress energy. And in order to be an Empress, we have to learn, you know, there's have to be growth and there needs to be improvement in things. But yeah, I don't know, Cancer. I feel like there's a lot to reflect on, because what's happening to Cancer, you know, if we are being there for this person here, you know, we're enabling that behavior. And where where I get where we want to be, you know, we get upset when this thing keeps happening and happening. If we allow it to keep happening, you know, it is, yes, that's not to excuse what they're doing, but we're playing our part in it as well, because we're perpetuating the problem. You know, it's, and I feel like there's a need to, you know, not be there to jump whenever they, you know, we yell crisis or yell spilled milk, or because it's just like just pay attention to the track record, Cancer, if opinions haven't been valued before. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. But and I get that too, Cancer, because I feel like that is really hard to do, to tell the nurturer to not do that, you know, to not be of service, to not help, you know, to be like, you know, like empath energy and things like that. But sometimes the best way we can help too is pulling back, you know, and just like, because we got to be mindful of our energies too. But all right, Cancer, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, if you know someone who's been, you know, if you've noticed that sort of like been that same old type of story. And you know what, too, Cancer, it might be like a train here. It's just like if might be coming to you saying like, hey, this person keeps doing this thing, and it's just like, well, like I told you before, how come we haven't cut the cord? You know, it's like we want to kind of stop this trend there, Cancer. If that's something, because that stuff can build up, you know, and that eats away at the energy. And you know, if we're not seeing things clearly with the sun here, you know, just something to think about there, Cancer. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. And then last thing, Cancer, I don't know if you realize how much I love you and that I made a whole other channel for you, Cancer. Partway because I do love you, Cancer, but another reason too because my sun signs in Cancer, and I feel like we get each other, Cancers. You know, like it's one thing to, it's another for people to kind of understand that, you know, like that we feel a lot, but it's another when you do feel a lot and how that fluctuates. Because even I was feeling a little off there, Cancer, and it's just sometimes it's just it happens. But you know, the whole point of that channel, oh man, let me tell you what the channel's called, the Sheridan Friends. You know, so I discuss lunar shenanigans, and you know, when the moon's changing phases and being in different signs and the energies that you might be experiencing during those signs. It's a good old time, Cancer, because we really are a, you know, we're a cool sign. I feel like people kind of got a weird you know, idea of how we operate here. So we're raising vibration there, Cancer. So come on over to the Charity and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. You can meet Rhonda. We'll discuss lunar shenanigans. You know, we're always drinking tea there, Cancer. And it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. And you got the Ace of Wands here. And I feel like with this is, I feel like this is more so just like a question, Cancer. More so just like, do we want to keep putting our energies into something, especially if it's the same thing that's happening over and over again? You know, we're just not getting to that state of where we're understanding why these things are happening here. You know, we're not taking time to reflect and things like that. I feel like that is just because eventually this is just, it's gonna just keep eating your energy up there, Cancer. So I feel like I feel like it's like the Ace of Wands is asking you to go about this a different way. Pull back your energy. Focus on you. It's just like in you know, Nine of Pentacles. But let me get your Oracle card here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. All right, thank you. All right, Cancer. So you got the 40th card here, which is the Co-Create card. And I feel like it's paying attention to what kind of situations and what kind of experiences that we are creating in these situations here. Oh, that's really interesting, Cancer. I'm just kind of looking at this card. You got this owl here, and you got this cheetah, and you got this owl egg, or this egg that's a cheetah print. That's doing a lot, Cancer. But it is paying attention, right? It's doing a whole lot, Cancer. And I feel like that it's asking ourselves, like, is this, because this seems like a lot that's going on here, Cancer. And I feel like that it's paying attention to the situations that we do create with others. Is it the same old stuff, or are we growing in this situation and learning? Because I feel like those are the energies that we want to be around, the ones where we are getting wisdom and things, not the ones that are draining our energies and keeping us stuck and keeping us in this, you know, where there's no kind of growth or healing or anything that's happening there, Cancer. Because I almost even kind of with this energy, it almost feels like that is Groundhog Day, or just like, you know, just like, it's like we get this sense of like deja vu or something along those lines. So yeah, just pay attention to what is being created in the relationships that you're in, Cancer. But I like that, Cancer. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there with all this you know, people, you know, not, you know, if they're not listening to you, Cancer, not valuing your opinions or whatever that's looking like. And if you have been doing a lot for, you know, trying to help others, Cancer, you know, you raise your vibration to the roof. You know, take some time for you, and yeah, just do some self care, do some independent work, do some reflection on this stuff, and figure out what the game plan is going to be from here, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.